Hello everyone, this is StrawberryShorty back with Haunted Heartbeats. Staring at Karen's phone in my hand, I debate whether I should wait to look at it with Nick and Rhett. The sooner we can figure out what's happening, the sooner this craziness ends. I give myself until it finishes charging to make a decision. That decision promptly gets made when I hear the phone buzz with a new notification. I flip the phone open. You mean flip, it's a smartphone! Karen's lock page greets me. For the record, had I actually gotten a choice, I would have chosen not to look. I mean, gotta respect the teammates. It's a picture of the two of us eating ice cream. In total darkness. I take a deep breath and force myself to keep going. Password, I know this. I put in Karen's birthday. It opens immediately. Oh, Karen. Girl, can you be any more obvious? Thank you, at least, for making it easy on me. The phone buzzes again. I check the notifications tab. It's George. He says, I'm sorry for killing you. A familiar icon winks back at me. I check my own phone to confirm. Yep, looks like it's the same app. They really could not design this app. I wonder if she got a similar message to mine. Better hope not. I tap the app, waiting for the message to appear. 7777. That's definitely different from what was on my phone. I check my own mysterious app again, and I know why this looks familiar now. It's actually in the image for the game. As I thought, my number is 442. Is this like a cue? What could this mean? Is there a connection to the murders in this app? And how does Nick's supernatural hypothesis fit into all this? I sigh, wishing Nick or Rhett were here. Rhett would encourage me not to give up searching. Nick would have a smart idea about what this is all about. I sigh, frustrated. I need more information. More information. I look at Karen's phone again, willing it to yield more answers. Where should I look? Go to Karen's pictures, go to Karen's calendar, go to Karen's email. Wow. She's violating all her privacy. Go to her email. Simulacra this. I open Karen's email folder. Whoa, girl, you are buried in junk mail. How many boy bands are you subscribed to? I look through a few more pages. Karen didn't seem to use her email for much more than signing up for newsletters and ads. Doesn't look like there's anything useful in here. I go back to the main screen. Where else should I look? Most of the other apps on her phone were games. After some thought, I decided to look at her messages. Looks like George and I weren't the only ones messaging her that night. I press on the latest batch of messages. May? What was Karen doing messaging May? May, Karen, George. They all talked to Karen that night. Karen talked to Karen? I have a hunch that these murders are connected to these weird messages in this app. What do you mean weird messages? They were just talking. I glance at my own phone nervously. Which means I could be next. I won't let that happen. I'm not going down without a fight. I don't know if I'm right about my guess, though. I'll have to get more evidence first. Which means I'll have to see George's and May's phones, too. Once I do, I can confirm that it's all definitely connected. I guess our protagonist doesn't realize that if she looks at George's and May's phones, they will also have messages to Karen. I mean, maybe you'll find the app. That's about it. It's decided then. I'll get the rest of the phones. I mean, George went missing, so... The next morning, I leave the house early. Wow, now we're showing darkness. If I can make it to school before anyone else, I can look through May's desk. Why would May's phone be in her desk? Rain threatens to fall, but the ground is still dry. The sun still hasn't come up yet, though. Oh, hey, this is the school from, Logger of Death. Is it all connected? I should have plenty of time for my search before the other students arrive. May's classroom is in another building, but I don't know which one. I've only met her in passing. I can't recall the last time I actually spoke with her. I start to wander the upperclassmen's halls, unsure of how to find where May's homeroom was. I close my eyes to think. Where could it be? I knew it! I knew we'd run into him! Also, if this is supposed to be an American school, the teachers lock the doors for the classrooms. And probably the building, too. What voice do I give him? Hey, you shouldn't be in here. Cool voice. Oh! Startled, I open my eyes to see a handsome upperclassman staring at me, frowning. I almost panic. Kane, Karen's older brother, stands in front of me. I didn't interact with him much growing up. He was always busy. I frequently forget he exists. I only ever really saw him in Karen's family photos, because he's a ghost. He was almost mythical, but now he's a bit too real. I'm sorry, I didn't know anyone would be here this early. What are you doing here? Oh no, he looks really annoyed. He doesn't really look annoyed. Makes me nervous. What should I say? It's not his business. Tell him you're lost or tell the truth. These are terrible options. I'll just say tell the truth, because it's not his business is too rude, and if we tell him we're lost, like he knows we've gone to school here. I'm no good at lying. I might as well let the cat out of the bag. I have reason to believe the recent string of deaths were all connected somehow. Recent string of deaths, 2 people. I want to figure out how. I shift uncomfortably as I feel his hard gaze studying me. The police have it handled. They don't need a child like you messing around with this. Go home. He turns to walk away. But the police don't know everything. Kane stops. He turns, cold eyes glaring. I almost think I can see a hint of desperation there, too. What are you talking about? I take a deep breath. I'm the vice president of the occult club. I think that these deaths are unnatural. Something is behind them. Something supernatural. The police won't do anything about it. Maybe I can. To my surprise, he lets out a short bark. I think it's supposed to be a laugh. Occult, the supernatural. You must be that girl Karen hung out with. I bristle at that description. Girl Karen hung out with? You mean Karen's best friend? Yeah, that's me. Look, I don't care what you think about me. But something is wrong. The police might solve it. They might not. I might not even be of any help to anyone. But if there's even a small chance I can contribute something infinitesimally small, is that a real word? If there's a chance I could stop this from happening to anyone else. I don't care what you think about me. It turns out that the girls just put their names in the locker. I turn to leave, embarrassed with my outburst. Hey, wait. I feel a hand on my shoulder. Big, warm. Look, maybe we can help each other. I'm looking for my sister's phone. Have you seen it? I don't believe in the supernatural or anything like that. But if you think something weird is going on too, maybe we can work together. What happened to Karen wasn't an accident, that's for sure. If that person is out there, I want to be the one to take out that piece of trash. He's almost shaking with anger. Kane? The sound of his name seems to wake him up. Oh, yeah, sorry. Look, if it means you're on our side, I'd be happy to show you what we know, which is nothing. Oh, by the way, I stole your sister's phone from her room. You don't even have to believe me about what I think about my supernatural theory. But can you try to keep an open mind? Kane's eyes glint with surprise. You mean you found something? Maybe, I don't know yet. I need more clues before I can start making guesses. But I may have a piece of something. That's good enough for me. What do you have? I show Kane the app on the phones, explaining the circumstances of its appearance. He considers it, his doubt and frustration evident. At last he looks up. People are going to arrive soon. I need to think about this. Let's talk later. I nod as we watch the first teachers begin to walk through the entrance gate. Park, after school. Don't be late. I nod in agreement. Nothing about us stealing a sister's phone. The whole day is a blur of uneasy students and pensive teachers. When the final bell rings, I rush out of class in relief. So no one else died? I head to the park as quickly as I can, but I find Kane already there waiting for me. I sit down next to him. We are both quiet for several minutes. At last, Kane heaves a sigh. You know, Karen talked a lot about you. She said you were the smartest person she knew. She always wanted us to hang out. She thought we'd get along. But I was always too busy with clubs. Can you believe that? What kind of older brother hasn't met his little sister's best friend since middle school? What am I supposed to say to something like that? Reassure him or be honest? I don't know what be honest is, so I'm just going to reassure him. The kind that is absolutely adored by his little sister. She basically worshipped you, you know? Kane is the captain of 2 sports teams and the president of debate. Kane won first prize at regionals. Kane is going to be valedictorian. She understood you were busy. She took it all as part of having a perfect older brother. Kane turns away and I can't see his face. Karen was sick a lot as a kid. We moved around a lot to give her the medical care she needed. When she finally got healthy enough for us to settle down, I was so eager to do things on my own. I didn't know she thought that about me. You know Karen. She wouldn't have admitted that willingly. I suppose not. I was her big brother. It was my job to protect her. I let her down. Some perfect big brother I am. Kane starts to shake. Kane, are you... He leans over and buries his face in my shoulder. Just, please, let me stay here, just for a moment. He's showing weakness. Kane seems so sad. Let him cry. Awkwardly pat his back. Let him cry. I stay as still as I can, careful not to move him. Silent sobs begin to rack his chest. I give his hand a gentle clasp. He returns my touch with a tight squeeze, not letting go. I don't know how long we stay that way. The stranger whose name I barely know is crying. Karen's absence is a hollow place in both our lives. However, for one moment, we share the same pain and I understand. I feel so helpless, feeling the grief wash over him in waves. The tears grow and subside in tides. Well, until at least they stop. Wow, that sentence just got completely missed by the proofreader. Kane looks up at me, his face wet. Without thinking, I scramble for the handkerchief in my pocket and wipe his tears away. To my utter surprise, he actually laughs a little. Karen was always the crybaby of the family. I was always the one with the handkerchief, ready to wipe her sad days away. I was the one who was supposed to comfort her. And now she's not even here. I feel like such a failure. Kane, listen to me. Karen did complain about you a lot, but she bragged about you more. She admired you with all her heart. No one thought better of you than she did. Is absolutely the last person she'd blame for her death. Kane turns away. Thank you, Shorty. I can see why Karen valued you so much as a friend. I'm so thankful she had you in her life. She always smiled when she talked about you. Now I see why. Although I was her big brother, I left her alone just when she was getting better. You helped her get out of her shell. You gave her friends a life. I can't tell you how grateful I am for that. I wish I had more time with the both of you, together. I'd do anything so that I could see her that happy again. I give him a small smile. He pauses and then returns it. You're not so bad, Shorty. You're more helpful than you know. Really? Really. Then I'll do my best. Well, we'll get to the bottom of this, Kane. For Karen. For Karen. After some discussion, Kane and I decide our next step is to get another cell phone. May's house is the closest, so we start to head there. I thought we were searching her desk. May's house is busy with people coming in and out. Kane and I recognize some fellow classmates. We are greeted at the door by a man who seems sad and tired beyond his years. Hello, thank you for coming to May's memorial service. How did you know May? Hello, Mr. Howard, I'm Shorty. We've met several times. I'm a friend of May and Karen. A spark of recognition flares in his eyes before they return to their quiet resignation. Oh yes, how could I forget, Shorty? Thank you for coming. Kane, good to see you again. He gives us a nod and waves the two of us inside. Once in the living room, Kane turns to me. This is an interesting setup for a living room. It looks like hospital beds over there. Maybe they're supposed to be tables, but they're still in a weird spot. He leans over and whispers, How should we do this? Split up or stay together? How should we look around? We should look together, we should split up. I'm saying look together because with my anxiety, sneaking around and risking being caught does not work. I can't even watch people do that in movies. We should look together. Splitting up may cover more ground, but there's more of a chance to miss something important. Okay, that's smart. Where should we look? I look around. It looks pretty busy here. Let's go to May's room. Kane nods in agreement. We head upstairs. My God, these girls all have lavish bedrooms. Luckily, May's room is easy to find. Her door was lovingly decorated, her name painted on a bright hanging canvas. Ken and I enter, careful to close the door quietly behind us. No, you leave it open! We look around, hoping to find something of importance. May's room is filled with pictures. Well, it's not the curly-haired girl. Ken and I glance at each other before we begin our search. After a few minutes' search, I notice a pattern. I motion to Kane. Look, I think the pictures around her dresser are the most recent. Most of the pictures around the room are May and her friends. But these here are different, look. I point to the halo of the photographs adorning the dresser mirror. There are still pictures of May and her friends. More interesting are several of May and a boy I don't recognize. It looks like May had a special someone. Yes, but I don't recognize him. He's a new transfer student in May's and my class. Does he have a sprite? This is important. I didn't know he and May were close. I pick up one of the photos that had fallen on the desk. It has the boy's face encircled with a heart drawn with lipstick. Well, however, this isn't what interests me. That's odd. What is it? I look up, examining the other photos. What I see makes me curious. Is that George? Kane peers at the pictures. Huh, you're right. It's not obvious, but he's in a lot of these pictures. I knew it! George is sus! Most of the time he's super blurry or hiding behind something, but he's definitely in there because he's stalking her. You wouldn't know it if you weren't looking for him. Good eye, Shorty. I would never have caught that. Or George is the ghost. I open the planner, open on the desk. The date for the upcoming Saturday is also circled. We should have checked the calendar instead of the emails. A big K was written on it, surrounded by hearts. I make a note of it. Let's go back downstairs. Someone may be suspicious if we stay too long up here. I think we found some good information. Kane nods and we slip quietly back downstairs. No one seems to have noticed our absence. We wait in a line to say our farewells to May. It is nearing the end of the service, so we are the last. May's parents had opted for an open casket. Wow. A glint of metal catches my eye and I realize what it is. Kane sees it at the same time and leans to whisper to me. It's May's cell phone. Oh boy, we're gonna grave rob. That's what we came here to get. Again, what are the cops doing? Should I try to get it, or do you want to? Who should get the cell phone? Kane or me? You go, Kane! I nod to Kane. You should get it. You cover more of her than I do and are less likely to be seen. He nods back. When he reaches the casket, he sets down a rose as if to lay it around her. I glance around, but no one is watching. Kane finishes quickly and stands at the entrance of the room. Kane joins me. We open the phone and look inside, right there at her memorial, and hope no one notices. My stomach drops in grim satisfaction as I see a familiar app on her home screen. I open it and I see a flash of numbers. But the screen quickly turns off. 7777. Kane and I stare at each other. What could it all mean? After further discussion, we agree it's time to go home. Did we take the phone or did we, leave it? We'll think about what we saw today. We say our goodbyes to Mr. Howard. He accepts them like a man in a dream. Poor guy. I can't help but take a final glance back as we exit the house. I have a clear line of sight into the memorial room. I see a faint apparition. May is staring down at her own corpse. She doesn't move for endless moments. May begins to slowly turn her head until she finally meets my eyes. We stare at each other, unmoving. May blinks and vanishes. We're seeing ghosts. I feel like we should be thinking more about this. Twilight Host Club. Welcome to Blood Rose, where your attention isn't the only thing these handsome men are craving. Back to the cheery music. Ring, ring. Come on, pick up, you slowpoke. I'm almost ready to give up after 3 missed calls. Who are we trying to call? Rhett? Why is his profile picture a shadow person? Hello? About time. I've called 1,000,000 times. There's a brief pause. 3. You've called me 3 times. What is it this time? I've been investigating, not that you've been any help. I mean, did you tell him any of this? His voice suddenly grows concerned. Wait, what? By yourself? Are you okay? You shouldn't be wandering around by yourself, especially now. I'm fine. I've been with Kane. Kane? Who the heck is that? Karen's older brother. Anyway, What? Would you shut up and listen to me for a second? We have May's phone. I think it's connected somehow. What? How did you even get... What? Look, it's kind of a long story. Can we just meet up in the club room? Fine, but you owe me an explanation. A good one. Right, I'm gonna call Nick. See you in a few. Alright, but be careful, okay? Sure. I hang up, searching my phone for the next number. I hear a click as he picks up immediately. Hey, what's up? I think I found something. That's fantastic. I wanted to show it to all of you. Would you meet us in the club room? Sure, be there soon. See you. I stare at my phone. That was so much easier than the first call. I start to head to school. The walk is pleasant, but it's starting to get dark. I quicken my pace. I should make it to the club room before sunset. My phone buzzes and I glance down. It's a text from Rhett. Rhett? What's he doing texting me? It's almost like we're friends. You called? I turn around to see a very sweaty Rhett trotting up to me. What are you doing here? Isn't practice at the school field? Didn't we tell him to come? He's panting and clearly out of breath. Yep. I was headed there. Yep. You mean you ran all the way out here right after practice just to walk back? Yep. You're ridiculous. He grins at me. Can't be too careful these days. The smile disappears. 2 of the 3 victims have been girls. I don't want you to be the 3rd. I can't help but agree. Oh, yeah. The goofy grin returns and the shadow from his face disappears. Well, shall we start walking then? All right. We walk in silence for a little while. Occasionally, I still glances at Rhett, feeling puzzled and just a bit shy. Usually, I'd tease him about being a sloppy mess after practice, but he actually works really hard at it. It's kind of admirable. Also, he did this for our sake. Rhett breaks the growing silence. Hey, you're unusually quiet. What you thinking about? What am I supposed to tell him? About you, nothing, the investigation. I'll say about you. I blurt out. About you. Rhett stops short. What? I grasp for something clever to say. About what a dork you are. Clever, real clever, Shorty. Nevertheless, he gives me a smile. I feel my heart jump just a little. Takes one to know one, dork. We walk in silence until we arrive at the club room. Red interrupts my thoughts. Hey, remember how we met? What brings this up? No reason. Well, yeah, of course I do. Red is quiet for a while, looking unusually thoughtful. You've always had a knack for making friends. How old was I when we moved here? 6? You were 5.5. I remember because you lorded it over me for months. And don't you forget it, 6 months older, 6 months wiser. He turns serious. You were always looking out for me. You still look out for me. I open my mouth in mock protest. Don't think I don't notice. I know you're the one who sneaks oranges into my gym bag so I don't forget to eat after practice. I know you traded seats with Bobby Schumacher in kindergarten so you could sit with the new kid. I know you ate all the cookies I baked for your birthday, even though I made them with salt instead of sugar. I know, Shorty. I blush. I can't think of anything to say to that. You look out for everybody. You think you don't need anyone to look out for you, but you do. I've been trying to tell you this for years, but you never listen. Stop trying to do everything by yourself, okay? It's okay to rely on other people. It's okay to rely on me. Got it? He looks away, suddenly embarrassed. I can't put what I'm thinking into words. Put my head on his shoulder, give him a hug. This is a premium choice, I don't know. I'd give him a hug. Let a laugh and punch him lightly on the shoulder. I can take care of myself, Rhett. You don't have to worry so much. Rhett gives me a smile. I know. I thought we said hug and then he punched him. I don't get it. But it doesn't hurt to have a little extra help, does it? I suppose you're right. Okay, I'll let you protect me. But I get to decide which way we go. Rhett thinks for a moment. All right, you've got a deal. He heaves a sigh. Have I just signed up to be a bodyguard? You have. Rhett gives an exaggerated sigh as he musses my hair. That was a confusing choice. Our exchange is interrupted as we hear someone approach. Good, you're both here. Are you ready to go? Sure. Yeah. We start walking. Where are we going? When did we plan this? George's house doesn't take too long to find. How in the world did you get George's address, Rhett? I may or may not have taken a picture from the teacher-student contact sheet. Smart. Well, here we are. But, Rhett, are you sure this is the right place? Rhett checks his phone and nods. There are no cars in the driveway. The mailbox is full. The lawn hasn't been mowed in weeks because he's an evil ghost. Let's take a closer look. Where should I go? Peek through the windows, go to the back door. I'd say back door because the windows look covered. I go around to the back of the house. The back door has a window. I peek through it. Window is also covered, though. It's hard to tell what's inside. I wipe at the glass and a layer of dirt is swept away. Inside, I am surprised by what I see. Rhett, Nick, come see this. What's up? What did you find, Shorty? It's more of what I didn't find. I don't see anything that says George's parents have been home in a long time. Stacks of bills and junk mail on the counter. Layers of dust. I see the table was being set, but only for one person. You're right, that is odd. We'll need to get inside. And how are we supposed to do that? Like this. He produces a set of lockpicks. Wow. Nick crouches down and begins to insert his picks into the lock. What are you... Click. A few expert jiggles later, I hear a pop and the door swings open. If we find George dead inside, we're in trouble. They're going to find our prints on everything. Rhett glances at Nick with new respect. That's handy. Think you could teach me sometime? Sure. Guys, let's go. Oh, right. I take a quick glance to make sure no one else is looking. After confirming no one is watching, we slip inside and shut the door behind us. Let's split up and look around. Remember, we're here to find George's cell phone. Let's stay focused. The other two nod. Where should I look first? George's room? Look at his parents' room. Ooh. George's room. I'll look at George's room. Rhett nods. I'll look in the basement. Where would his phone be in the basement? I'll look in his parents' room. I go upstairs and find George's room. George, you have interesting taste. The walls are covered in wanted posters, oh boy. Several open books about crime and investigation are open on the floor. He's trying to figure out how to get away with murder. All bookmarked and highlighted. His bookshelves are mostly notebooks. Browsing several of them lands me exactly what I'm looking for. I remember Red is in the basement, so I call it for Nick. He should be on the same floor. Nick, look what I found. Oh, it's a fancy one. Nick enters and sees the notebook in my hands. I thought we were looking for a phone. Is this what I think it is? Nick nods. It looks like a diary of some sort. Should we read it? It sounds like an invasion of privacy. There could be something in there that helps us. Should I read George's diary? Yes, I should read it. No, we should respect his privacy. Yes, we should read it. What are the cops doing? Sorry, George. People's lives are at risk. We'll need to read this. Nick nods and we open it together. We spend several minutes browsing it. It starts out normal enough. It looks like it started several years ago. But the writing towards the middle and the end, they look so strange. It starts to look more erratic. The handwriting looks sloppier and the thoughts seem less cohesive. It's so different than how he acted at school. Shorty, can you take a harder look at this? I'm going to look around the room some more. We're going to get jumped by him. Sure. I browse through the pages as Nick rummages around the room. I become more disturbed the more I read. After I'm satisfied I have done a decent job of looking through it, I wave to Nick. Did you find anything? I think so, but I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Let me read you a few things. Good, finally getting info. I read aloud a few paragraphs of George's book. Sometimes I wonder what it feels like to choke the life out of someone. See, I told you he was a crazy one. I wake up at night dreaming I'm covered in blood. He describes more violent dreams, bloody fantasies, and terrifying musings. Several pages are of notes with how to get away with crimes are inside. Maybe he's writing a crime novel? There were several in his room. Or in his room. Maybe he wants to be a writer? Nick shrugs and asks me to continue to share what I find. There are lists of classmates from years past, some with lines through them. I recognize some of the names and flip through several pages. Nick, there are some photographs in here. Photos of his classmates. Some of them moved away years ago, according to this. But the names on the list and the names on the photographs match the ones who moved. Is there a connection? There's too much of a coincidence for there not to be. I'm not sure what the connection would be, though. I wonder. We'll have to come back to it later, once we share what we find with the others. You're right. We need more time to look at all of this. I point to the mess of papers inside the notebook. Nick nods. He glances at his watch. It's getting late. We should double our efforts to find that phone watch. Phone watch? I agree. We call Rhett up from the basement to help us look. Rhett finds George's phone after a few minutes' search. I eagerly open the phone. No app. Searching the phone yields no results. I suppose my guess was wrong. Maybe the app doesn't have anything to do with the murders. Which means we're back at square one. He faked the injury and then ran. Nick shakes his head. I don't think so. We just need to look at this from a different angle. But for now, we should go. If we stay any longer, the neighbors will find it strange that the lights are on and if no one is supposed to be home. Rhett and I agree, and the three of us head home. I feel dejected, so disappointed that I was wrong. Before going to bed, I see a text from Kane. Meet me tomorrow before school, my classroom. Brief pause and another text appears. I smile. Please, I need to talk to you. Maybe tomorrow will be better. The walk to school is too short and too long at the same time. This is from the school, death school or whatever. I find Kane in his homeroom. Good morning, Kane. You needed to talk? Yes, but something else has just come up. Take a look at this. Kane shows me a live feed on the local news on his phone. Uh-oh. Is it one of the named kids? My eyes widen with horror as I listen. Another victim last night? Kane nods. It's Kenneth Drake. He was May's and my classmate. Was that one of the people we met? I don't think it was. I know there was a boy named Max. That's awful. I'm so sorry. That's not the only thing. I think Ken and May were close. Oh, Kay's the boyfriend! I suspect they may have been going out. We need to find out what's in May's cell phone. I agree. I think what's inside is important. That should be us. It's locked now, though. We need to find a way to unlock it. That's why I called you here. We might be able to find something in May's desk. Okay, let's hurry. Kane shows me May's desk. What a mess. Maybe we could have made this a little easier. There's a lot to do, though. Go through, I think it's supposed to be. Here, you go through this pile. We separate mounds of junk and begin to paw through them. Anything? No, I'm beginning to think that... What the hell do you think you're doing? Kane and I look up to a furious girl snarling down at us. Who the actual hell do you think you are, looking through a dead girl's desk? I mean, her anger is pretty justified here. Is this our dramatic cliffhanger? Apparently so. The Spellbinding Kiss. After awakening to magical powers, you enroll in a magic academy. However, a darkness begins to approach the academy and its students. Who will be the one to cast a magic spell on your heart? Anna glares down at me and Kane as we hover over May's things. Just say she borrowed something. What the hell? She reaches out to snatch a handful of papers from my hands. Put everything back right now. You have absolutely no right. She starts to tear up in anger and frustration. Wait, Anna, why? A large hand appears on Anna's shoulder. I recognize him as one of May's classmates. Why don't we give them a chance to answer first? I breathe a sigh of relief. Hey, I know you. You're Shorty's friend. You're Shorty, right? Karen's friend. I nod. Anna visibly relaxes but still looks a bit suspicious. Karen? I know her. She hung out with May a lot. I'm sorry about what happened to her. Yeah, we went to May's memorial yesterday. Her dad asked us to gather some of May's things to bring back. Oh, I see. I feel bad lying to her. She looks less doubtful. I think it's all right, Anna. Oh, okay. I'm sorry I yelled. You just looked really suspicious. I guess it's okay for you to look through May's things if her father asked you to. Just put everything back, okay? Kane is quick to reassure her. Of course. I'm sorry we startled you. Anna nods. She wanders off after a few backward glances. Sorry about Anna. She's a bit jumpy these days. I hope she survives. I hope they both survive. I can't say I blame her. We didn't look all too trustworthy, I have to admit. No, you didn't, but it's all right now, I guess. Are you guys looking for anything in particular? I sat next to her. He gestures to the desk beside May's. Maybe I can help you look? Actually, we have a few questions about May. Oh, sure, fire away. We need to find more information that could unlock May's phone. What should I ask him? May and Ken's dating life. What it is about May. May and Ken's dating life. Jeff, do you know if May was dating anyone? Well, I suppose there's not much point keeping it a secret now. May was dating Ken for a few months now, in fact. I see Kane give me a slight nod. That confirms our suspicions. How did they start dating? I was there when it all started. What date, man? May and I were in a study group, and the teacher assigned Ken to our group after he transferred in. I could tell there was some chemistry between the two of them, although neither would admit it. Ken and I were goofing off, and I dared Ken to ask her out on a date. May somehow found out about it. Ken was pretty embarrassed, but she was a good sport about it. She started joking back, and the next thing I knew, they had set up a date as a joke. It's that bear again! Yeah, that was the bear we saw at Karen's. Is there a coincidence? He bought her a giant teddy bear, took her to dinner at a super fancy place, and asked for a table for 3. After that, they started going steady. I take all the credit for that. I see. Was there anything unusual about their relationship? Well, it was a little odd that they tried to keep it all a secret. They did a pretty good job hiding it from most people, though some of us definitely noticed. But they might have had a good reason. A good reason? Yeah, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but... You know Karen? May hung out with her all the time. Ken mentioned that there was this guy in Karen's class that kept bugging May. George? Ken said that he didn't seem like a bad guy, but he acted all funny around May. I guess May didn't want to hurt his feelings or something. I see, that is interesting. You wouldn't happen to know who it was, would you? Jeff shrugs. Sorry, I don't recall the name. I don't pay much attention to freshmen. He turns to me, apologetic. No offense, honest. I shake my head. None taken, honest. Thanks. Thanks for all the help, Jeff. We appreciate it. No problem. I know what it's like being on the bad side of Anna's temper. He gives a playful little shudder, and then turns serious. I'm sorry about May and Karen. I hope you guys find what you're looking for. I have to head out. Got soccer practice before class starts. Ken and I thank Jeff once again as he heads out the door. As he's leaving, I notice movement around the corner. Nick, come over here. We could use your help. After a few minutes' discussion of the morning's events, the three of us start to scour the classroom. We still need to find the password to unlock May's phone. There has to be a clue in here somewhere. I keep looking through the desk, hoping to find something in the stacks of paper. Nick is going through the teacher's desk, flipping through various piles of assignments. Kane examines the personal cubbies at the back of the classroom. It takes a few more minutes of searching before we decide to share what we find. We lay out everything. A diary, an essay, and a planner. I hope one of these at least gives us some kind of clue. We only have a couple tries at the password before we get permanently locked out of the phone. Which one should we look at first? Which one? Diary, essay, planner. I want to read the diary, but I feel like we should go for the planner. Like maybe it's going to be the date they met. Oh, it's an academic calendar. It's an academic calendar. It only goes a few months before school started. Let's hope that's enough. Anything stand out to you? Well, you wouldn't believe this, but she was pretty organized. With her planner, if not her desk. School assignments in black, social stuff blue, club stuff in green. And important dates in red. And there are a few red days here. Nick, write these down. He does so. Well, we have a few ideas where to start. Let's try them all. After several minutes, we managed to unlock the phone. I was right. Yes. Looks like it was the day she started dating what's-his-name. Ken. Yes, it seems that way. What do you see, Nick? Lots of things. What should I look for? Should I tell Nick? The app, the messages. Say the app. Is the app still there? What does it say? It is. Looks like it says 7777. Okay, nothing's changed then. Let's take a look at the messages. What did you find? Looks like May messaged Karen that night. And one other person. George? Nope, Ken. Ken? The one that just died? Rhett, pipe down. Oh, right, but Ken? What's the connection in all of this? Given that we were also chatted, if this is some kind of weird virus, we're in trouble. I think I may have an idea. It might be wrong considering George, but if I'm right, we might get on the right track again. Shorty, what are you talking about? I think there's a link in all this, and it all begins with this app. I hold up my phone. I think there's a connection between the people who are killed and who have this app. And those who had this app also messaged someone who died. I don't think that's a coincidence. I admit George didn't have this app on him. There's probably a reason for that too. We just haven't figured it out yet. Hang on. Do you mean to tell me that people who have this app have died? And you have one? Shorty, what in the freaking hell are you thinking? Rat, calm down. Calm down? You're telling me to calm down when you could be the next target? Nick, are you hearing this? Yes. And I think you need to calm down too. I don't see why. Rhett, please, calm down for me. Rhett takes several deep breaths, but still looks visibly upset. We're working on figuring this out, and we're going to before anything else happens. But we need to work together in order to do that, okay? I'm going to be fine. Rhett is still fuming, but it looks like he's decided to save the yelling for later. As I was saying, I think that having that app may have been what started everything. And I first got the app after I went to the library. You think that we can find more clues in the library? I'm not sure, but I think so. It's a place to look at next. I guess you're right. Still, we need to get other stuff done too. We can't all go to the library. I'll call Kane and we can get moving. Isn't Kane here? Nick, how about you come with me and Kane to the library? It's a big place. We could use more eyes. Rhett, you find a way to get Ken's phone. If we find the app on it, it may give us more solid footing to go off of. Hold on. I'm not leaving you. I'm still mad at you for not immediately going to the police about all this. As officers, I got an app. Especially after what we established today. Need I remind you there is a murderer on the loose? Killing people who have this app? You're the only one who hasn't been killed yet. No way I'm not leaving you until I know it's safe. No, separate. I'm not leaving you until it's safe. Rhett's getting out of hand. Calm Rhett down, argue with her. Well, calm him down. Arguing ain't not going to help. Rhett, please be reasonable. Nick? No, it's all right. I understand. He's just looking out for you, Shorty. We're all worried. Rhett is just a little more excitable. He shoots a disapproving look at Rhett. Excuse me? What did you... I'll go find Ken's cell phone. You two head to the library and meet up with Kane. I thought Kane was here! Where did he go? We part ways with Nick, who promises to let us know as soon as he finds something. As we head to the library, I hear Rhett mumbling. I didn't catch that. More mumbling. Look, Rhett, I really can't hear... I'm sorry, alright? I'm sorry for blowing up back there. I know it wasn't cool. But Shorty, you have to admit, this is getting dangerous. More dangerous. We're not just poking around anymore. There's actual evidence you might be the next target. How would I ever forgive myself if I let anything happen to you? Stop in the hall. That's what this is all about? What else would I yell about? Rhett, I'm sorry for worrying you. Shorty, sorry doesn't always cut it. You gotta start looking out for yourself. If not for your sake, then mine or your parents or your friends. I know, Rhett. Rhett, I'm sorry. I don't want to upset you. But people are dying. We might find a way to stop it. Don't you think that's worth a little risk? Putting you at risk? No. Absolutely not. But I know I can't talk you out of it. So I guess I'll just have to put up with it. But if things get too dangerous, I swear, Shorty. If I have to throw you over my shoulder and drag you to the police station, I promise I'll do it. I can't help it. The imagery makes me giggle. All right, if you insist. I do. I shoot a text to Kane asking that he meet us in the library. I quickly receive a reply. Kane's nearby. He'll be there in a few minutes. Good. Sooner I can get you home, the better. Again, home is where all the murders happened. We arrive at the library in time to see Ken coming around the hallway. He greets us and we head inside together. How did you want to do this? Should we all look together or separately? We should look around together. We should split up and look separately. Look together, because last time we split up, I got sucked into another world. It might be slower, but I think we should stick together. Everyone, stay within line of sight. No wandering off, got it? I could say the same to you, Shorty. Yep, I say you're more likely to wander off than we are. Okay, let's start looking around. It's slow going since we stay together. After a couple hours, we cover almost every inch of the library without success. We end up near to where we began. Oh, this is the last place to look. I feel like we should be telling them about the phone and the blood and the cave. I wanted to say this for last, since this is where I think we'll actually find something. I gesture to the bookcase, then stop in surprise. This wasn't here before. What are you talking about? This bookcase, it's different, new. Well, that's something to go off of. Most of the bookcases in the library are old, but this one is clearly new wood. Is the cave behind it? Unlike the open shelving of the rest of the library, this wall has glass casing. A handwritten sign is taped on it, no access. A single book lies inside. I tug at the latch. It's locked. Figures, Nick would have been useful in this situation. Oh yeah? Kai knows his way around a lockpick. Let's look closer. Maybe we can find something without opening it? I peer inside, straining to see past the reflective glass. A small movement catches my eye. We all freeze as we recognize the face peering into the window with us. Karen stares into the case with eyes that cannot see. Cliffhanger! Well, that's all we can do for now. I'm kind of getting interested in this story. I wish we were seeing a little more, suspense, like finding the bodies ourselves or something. Not even a bloodstain. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!